Many people think leadership starts at an older age. And for me, I'm being mesmerized that actually you started way back.
I've really had this desire to be one of the leaders that people can learn from, someone that's going to lead and set an example for others. I feel like leadership is a journey.
Yeah.
Leadership is something that we can all learn from.
Failure is not the end. It is a reminder to tell you that you can do it one more time. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are watching, and from a very warm welcome to the Raw Mind Talk. My name is Gardner, and today we are having a very interesting conversation. Before we go to the conversation, you very much well know that at the Raw Mind Talk, the only thing we do best is to deconstruct life principles, concepts, ideas, so that somebody out there watching can be able to use them on a daily or marinate them into their own daily life so that they can live happy and fulfilled thereafter. We have discussed several topics on this podcast, but today we have a very interesting one, which is going to align itself with leadership and personal development. And I'm not alone in studios. I have one and only my very good friend and one of the mentees here at Mind Heritage, and his name is Ronel Moriel Kisa. He took up one of our training courses, the first cohort on the mentorship life groups, and he has transformed himself or taken himself in places, and today we are very honored to hear that he's the GRC year 07 or year 7 at Vienna High School. So, Ronel, how are you doing today?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ronel Moriel Kisa, and I'm the Guild Representative Council for my class, and I attend Vienna College Namugongo.
Guild Representative Council of his year 7 class. So, Ronel, tell me, how did this leadership come into play? Somebody said maybe at times we are born leaders, others say no, leaders are made. So give me some context about your life background.
All right. I feel like leadership is a journey.
Yeah.
Leadership is something that we can all learn from, and it all starts somewhere. It all starts from initiative and having that spark inside you, having that desire to lead. When the thought first comes to you, you have to take it up, take your chance, because no one's going to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself.
True. So you've talked about the spark. When did you get this spark? Or when did you see the spark?
This spark was always a desire that I've had ever since I started going to Vienna College. I've really had this desire to really, to be able to be one of the leaders, someone that people can learn from, someone that's going to lead and set an example for others.
Yes, setting an example for others. That means there is somebody who set an example for you. Are there some leaders that you looked up to before you jumped into the space, or those that created that spark for you to have the desire to lead others and be there for them?
Yes, very much, exactly. At my school, we had our guild president. He was a very influential person, and he was actually one of the people that inspired me to go up and take the leadership role. I felt like it was also something that I can manage.
You can manage. Which school is that? Vienna?
Vienna College.
So your leadership ambition and desire and interest started at Vienna?
Yes, it did.
So before Vienna, where were you?
Before Vienna, I was in a school called North Green.
North Green. So you didn't have any leadership aspirations there, or you just lived low-key, subordinate or follower?
Yes, actually, in North Green, the desire was somewhat, but it was really small. In my year 5, I actually ran for a position to be the house captain of my house wind. But unfortunately, that didn't go well and I didn't win, because sometimes in life, failure is always there. Failure is the first step to success.
True.
So when I failed, I knew there's this other chance to take it up again. This is my chance to show myself.
Wow, I didn't know you had contested before, and I like the mindset of failure as you've put it. Failure is not the end, it's always it's more or less of a pointer. It is a reminder to tell you that you can do it one more time, and you did not stop there, right?
Yes.
But when you failed, let's use the same word, or when you did not go through, when the odds were not in your favor, did you go back to understand why you had not gone through, or for you like, okay, it's okay, I'll try again next time? And how did you feel, and what was the cause for your failure then?
I really feel like the cause for my failure was I hadn't prepared well. I wasn't mentally prepared, I wasn't physically prepared. I hadn't really gotten outreach to most of the school that I was running for a candidate position. I feel like I could have exposed myself a lot more, make myself more known to the students, and also what I'm promising for them for a better school.
So tell me more. I want to know what you are promising for them then, because it's quite interesting that many people think leadership starts at an older age. And for me, I'm being mesmerized that actually you started way back, and you really even knew what a school requires and what the people want. And from your submission, you hadn't exposed yourself, they hadn't gotten to know you. So, what are some of the promises that you gave them? When you think back today, you're like, I shouldn't have given that promise because maybe it's not practical, or it's not relatable, it's not applicable anyhow. Yeah.
Well, back in my old school, let's say Wind, the house, it was a very successful house. They were very good contenders for this position that I was going for. So some of the promises that I gave, I was promising for a better Wind, I was promising for more trophies, but I wasn't really going into the promises of being a good leader, being able to be someone to look up to. I think I was just promising more for the outcome more than for the journey to get there.
Wow. More for the outcome than the journey. And you've put it right. You know, most of us as leaders, as you said, we have so many promises we put out to the audience, we put out to the people, we put out to our followers. But remember, the promise you make actually does not influence. It does for a small time, but failure to fulfill your promise, people will run away from you. But it's not actually the promise, as Ronel has said. He says it is the journey. And we very much know that leadership is all about influence. Influence does not come from the promise. No. There are people who have become leaders without even any single promise. It's the journey. How do you connect to the people? How do you relate to the people? Do you know their challenges? Do you know their problems? And are you able to represent them? Because oftentimes we think we leaders are supposed to formulate ideas and table them for the people. And yet we are just acting as a bridge between me and my people that I lead, and also a bridge between the service that I'm intending to bring to them. And I like the idea that you realized what you had done wrong. Yes. And the promises you thought maybe, no. If I had done this better, I would do better. So take me, after your former school, North Green, now you go to Vienna. In between, you happen to be one of our students here at Mind Heritage that we are mentoring. Take us through that journey. How impactful was it? Did it contribute to your confidence? Did it contribute to your desire of becoming a leader? Or take us through so that somebody out there gets to know that actually leadership is not just falling into things, but as you said, it's a process that has a lot to do with learning, connections, and mentorship. Take us through that.
Yes. After I left my school, after I graduated, in the summer break, I really looked at the Mind Heritage course as something that I can really learn from, because by that time I was really like still heartbroken from the time. Yeah.
The wounds were still fresh.
Yes. Yeah. So when I started attending these mentorship courses, I really learned more about confidence. I learned more about leadership, about failure. And when I learned about failure, I actually looked back and said, wow, So failure isn't actually something that's permanent. It's just the first step to success. So after I finished that and I joined Vienna, and I saw that there was this position for the Guild Representative Council, I was like, I should really take it on because I feel like I have the leadership qualities and the experience to be able to lead my class to higher levels.
Yes. So take us through the journey. You have gotten the knowledge, you've gotten the skills, you have understood that failure is not an end, but it's just a process and it's just a journey that aids you. Now you go to Vienna, there's an opening. And in yourself, you're like, I can do this. So what did you do next? You went to pick up the forms. Did you tell your parents? Did you tell your peers? How did you mobilize? I know it's not an easy thing.
It's really not an easy thing. So when the position was first opened up, there were 2 other contestants that were really good. So before I actually went and submitted my application, I was really thinking to myself and I was like, wow, is this actually worth it? Can I really do it? So I was really second guessing myself. But something in me reminded me there's a prize at the end. You just have to keep going step by step and you'll get there eventually. So I went, I signed up for the post while just having this thought in me saying that, oh, if you lose, it's okay, there's always another chance. But I knew I could do it and I believed in myself. After I went through the campaigning process, it was a really difficult process, really. Getting people to vote for you and really exposing yourself because it's a really big school with many students. And I feel like when you get more people to hear about you and what you're promising, then you really have a higher chance. And that's ultimately how I was able to succeed.
Yeah, if you've just tuned in, remember I'm with Ronel Moriel Kisa, and he happens to be the Guild Representative Council, Year 7 at Vienna College. And you're telling us that actually the 2 contenders were not easy, right? They're not easy. But then you started to mobilize, right? So tell me, what was the promise? Were you working alone to campaign? Did you have a team? Did you inform your parents? Who wrote for you the manifesto? Where did it come from? What did you promise,
So when I was first starting, I was really alone. No one knew that I had actually going to sign up. Yeah. So the first person I thought of to tell was my friends who are closer to me because I'm actually in a boarding school. So I went to talk about my friends about the idea and they were like, hey, that's really good. And they really supported me and helped me. There were these 2 friends that really helped me reach that final goal. But I think around that same night, I called my parents, I let them know, and they really encouraged me to strive for that position and go through all the hard work because my mom reminded me that at the end, the prize is better. You just have to keep working and eventually you'll get there.
Wow, that is what you said earlier on. You stopped looking you focused at the prize and the process, knowing regardless of what happened then, there is still something up to come. And you didn't do it alone. I'm very happy that you shared with your parents and your parents supported you. Many a times we have seen people who have tried to enter these leadership positions and all the parents tell them is, I never sent you to school to become a leader. I sent you to school to pursue academics. And they forget that